Hello, welcome to another edition of News Bite on Ghana Talks Radio. My name is Deborah Adoso. Coming up, government's plan to abolish e-levy and betting tax violate IMF program. Gideon Boako. Mahama proposed introducing LGBTQ plus bill as a government-sponsored initiative to address challenges in the energy sector. John Mahama negotiates with independent producers. Member of Parliament for Tano North, Dr. Gideon Boako, has expressed concerns about government's plan to abolish the e-levy and betting tax as a violation to Ghana's agreement with the International Monetary Fund. According to him, the removal of these taxes could disrupt the country's financial commitment and lead to the introduction of new taxes to fill the revenue gap. Boako's concerns were sparked by statements from Finance Minister-designate Dr. Kaiser Toforson, who suggested that the government should abolish the e-levy and betting tax in its first budget and compensate for the revenue shortfall by implementing expenditure cut. Boako warned that the government should be explicit about its plans not to introduce new taxes to make up for the shortfalls. He emphasized that the government's actions should align with the fiscal policies agreed with IMF.
For instance, he answered the question about e-levy, betting tax and said he was going to scrap them. Then he was asked the question, how are you going to make up for the revenue shortfalls? Then he said he's going to cut expenditure. Cutting expenditure does not address the problem because in actual sense, if you look at our debt sustainability analysis, the key thing that is embedded in the IMF program is debt service to revenue ratio. It's not debt service to expenditure ratio. So you may cut expenditure, but your debt service will be matched with revenue, which is a key component of the IMF program. So when you scrap the taxes, there's a revenue shortfall. You need an increased revenue to match the debt service burden. It is not a matter of expenditure. So how do you then increase revenue to make up for the shortfalls that you have created by scrapping the taxes? The IMF will insist that the only thing you can go around it is to introduce another tax. And he certainly indicated in his presentation there are two ways to go about it. It is either you cut your expenditure or you introduce another tax. We don't want a situation whereby you give with left hand and you take with the right hand. They have to be explicit. If they are cutting that.
Moving on, President John Dramani Mahama proposes reintroducing the LGBTQ plus bill as a government-sponsored initiative, aiming for broader legitimacy and higher success chances. This move comes after Mahama's cautions stance on signing the anti-LGBTQ bill into law during his presidential campaign. Mahama's renewed proposal suggests a shift in approach, potentially seeking to address concerns and criticism surrounding the bill. It's worth noting that the Amnesty International has emphasized the need for Ghana's new governance to prioritize human rights, including gender equality and the protection of marginalized groups.
In regards to the proper human sexuality, and it's quite a long. If you remember, there was a court case that injected the speaker from forwarding it to the president, and also restrained the president from receiving the bill. Eventually, that case was disposed of in December, I think on the 18th or so. Yeah, so it meant that the injunction had been cleared. But as far as I know, the bill did not get to the president for assent, and so the convention is that all bills that are not assented to before the expiration of the life of Parliament expire, and so that bill effectively is dead. It has expired. I don't know what the promoters of the bill intend to do, but I do think that we should have a conversation on it again, so that all of us, if we decide to move that bill forward, move it forward with a consensus. And probably it shouldn't be a private member's bill. It probably should be a government bill with government behind it after consultation with all the stakeholders to see how we're able to move this forward.
On a different stance, President Mahama has met with independent power producers IPPs towards addressing Ghana's energy sector challenges. The meeting focused on the financial sustainability of the Electricity Company of Ghana and the overall power distribution framework. Mahama emphasized the need for reforms, citing inefficiencies, procurement irregularities, and revenue losses at the ECG. He noted that the company's 40% commercial and technical losses are unsustainable. To address these issues, Mahama proposed increasing private sector involvement to improve efficiency and revenue collection. He suggested a transparent and well-structured partnership to enhance revenue collection and reduce ECG losses. Mahama assured the IPPs that his administration is committed to turning a new page in the energy sector. Mahama assured the IPPs that his administration is committed to turning a new page in the energy governance, recognizing the vital role they play in Ghana's power sector. He pledged to work collectively with them to address challenges and ensure a sustainable energy sector.
Responsibility of this country had to have, then it's with you, the power producers, because we know what role power plays in keeping the economy going, especially in a time when the economy is in crisis. I remember that we had two issues to resolve in terms of being able to solve the power crisis. The first was to increase generation, because over the years, we had thought that Akosombo was the all-in-all and that it will continue to provide Ghana power forever. But the time had come for us to complement hydro with thermal. And in the beginning was VRA that was responsible for that. But mobilizing capital early enough and being able to operationalize thermal plants was becoming a challenge for government and its state-owned power production company. But I thought that it was important for me to meet you as president and tell you that I care about your concerns and what you're going through, and to say that we're going to work together with you to see how we can resolve the issues in the power sector. The first thing is for us to deal with the issue of the value chain, the whole power value chain, CG, so that it's running more efficiently than it does currently.
And that's all for today on Newsbite. My name still remains Deborah Adoso. As always, do well to log on to all streaming platforms at GhanaTalksRadio.com. Thanks for making time with me. Do have a lovely day.